Oh, good morning, YouTube. Yes, I've been in the mouth again, so difficult to understand me, but that's me. Anyway, as you know, recently, for those who watch, it wasn't many, but I completed, well, nearly completed a few little things I want to do to the chair. It's wobbly, the first chair, my first attempt, a bit on the wobbly side, so I'm going to be sorting that out maybe later today. But just wanted to give you a heads up on what I plan on doing next. So just have a look at this. I plan on making a recliner. This isn't the chair. This is just something I've sort of have just sort of bits of spare wood and just sort of testing things out. So it's not going to be a huge slope on the recliner, which was my first idea. I thought just a little bit, otherwise it's going to make it a bit sort of wobbly, I'd imagine. So I cut like a V shape out of there, slotted that into there. I would then, on the one I'm going to do, cut the joint out of there as well, so it would go in flush. This time I've got my jigsaw. Now, this is the thing, you see. It says Makita on there. It cost the equivalent of about £10. Just get rid of that. But when it came, I knew it wasn't going to be original, but that's the box it come in. It doesn't say Makita on there, it just says electric saw. And these are just stickers on there saying Makita. I think there's that on that side, gives you the rough ideas. It's not really in focus, is it? It's trying to focus, but no, never mind. I haven't even got my glasses on. Bear with me 1 second. So let's have a look what it says. Makita jigsaw. Then it says 55mm, 220V. So 220 volts, 950W, which is probably watts. 3000 revs per minute. And 50-60 HZ. No idea what that is. It does say the Makita Corporation Japan, but like I say, that's just a sticker saying that, that'll come off. Maybe on the original they are just stickers as well, but I just know, because I looked online how to insert the blade, and I put in Makita jigsaw, blah, 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 and the connection there was nothing like the one on the originals, and I'm sure this isn't an original. But in saying that, I'm hoping, because it's only using for slimmer pieces of wood. It's not robust or heavy duty or anything to do the 2x2s properly. They'll still be done by the hand saw, which is quite a good saw. So I'm going to crack on. Every now and then I'll give you a quick update of how I'm doing. Bye for now. So I've gone for 3 foot long for the back rest part, and I've cut them to length, and I've cut them damn straight this time. So I'm really concentrating. I did what I said I'd do by putting the clamp there. Couldn't find a vise, like I said, but I'll show you something in a minute really funny, but the clamp's quite good. But I did that, what I said I was going to do. So I would then go down with that, and I've managed to, as you can see, get that pretty damn straight. Not perfect, but I tell you what, it's not far off. If I just get this here, look at that, and it's the same on the other side. So I'm happy with that. If I keep my joints the same, then it should be a much tighter fit and stronger joints. On this one I will be using the glue. On the other one I didn't, because the joints were just too far apart. They weren't close enough, they weren't tight enough. So just want to show you this. So I bought this in Solano in a place called DIY. They've got lots of stuff in there. So I bought a good saw there. So some of the stuff's not so good, but some of it's really good. I'm happy with this. Although these plastic covers, they do come off sometimes if you're trying to drill, or but it's not designed for that. It's designed for clamping pieces of wood together when you glue them. But I bought online 2 clamps, twice the price of that, and look here, flimsy and not even half the size, and the metal is rubbish on it. So I've decided I won't be buying from that website ever again, because I've had some disappointments, but that was the biggest joke of all. Never mind. So I've got that, and they will, if I use both of them on a piece of wood, for example, then it would give me a little bit more. But if I start using the jigsaw, which vibrates a bit, they just fly off. And so does that eventually, because it's not what they're designed for. But never mind, I couldn't find a vise. So, but when I come back to the country next year, I'm going to be sending a lot of stuff over that I buy in the UK. So I'm going to carry on and speak to you soon. So, as you can see, I just need my pencil and I'm going to mark down there. So what I've gone for this time is, first of all, the original one was 2 centimeters. It was too much. 1 centimeter just didn't seem to enough. So I've gone 1.5 centimeters, got my pencil. I'm now going to mark down there and cut that off as well. This is so frustrating. If you remember on the first chair, he was going to have a backrest leaning away like so, yeah, roughly that angle. And then that's where you sit on. I've made exactly the same mistake as last time. Bear with me a second. Let me just set you up so I can show you exactly with both hands. So yeah, I've made the same mistake as last time. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, oops, that goes at an angle cut off there, okay? So it's going to go like that. Then you've got your chair piece. It's going to go across like that. And I've cut it. Have I? Do you know what? I think I'm talking garbage. Bear with me a second. If I can just bring you down to the right height. So, I've cut that one a bit too tight because the first one was too loose. And second one too tight. So this is the loose one. So, if that goes at an angle like so, and I'm saying I can't do that because it's going to go up. Does that make any sense? It's going to be like that. But if I use that as a cross member, it's still wrong, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's still at an angle. Oh dear. I'm going to have a think about that. So I really can't afford to use another piece of wood. I mean, I've got wood round it, but I know Sally needs that for other things. That is frustrating. Like it's hard to explain, but basically where that's going up like that, it should have been cut so it goes straight like that. So I cut it so the seat part's going to do that. And I wanted it to be like that, but I've already got the joint in there. And I don't want to be using any more wood. What am I going to do? Am I going to leave it so it goes up like that? Is that such a big thing? Let me try a piece of wood. Will that fit in there? Yeah. So basically, let me get that right. So it's going to go up like that, isn't it? And I wanted it to go like that. Does that make any sense? Oh dear. Do you know what? I'm going to carry on and have it at an angle like that and see what it's like at the end. Anyhow, come up with, I shall show you now, and it'll make a better job of it. So I've been making my joints. As you can see, I am getting better at it slightly. But all I have to do is where the slope is, I say, because now that's basically going to be at an angle. All I've got to do is just take a little bit more of the slope off and bring it to about just a slight angle. Problem solved. Match them up, make sure they're both the same. So rather than that, just like that. So I've still got a slight slope and only a slight incline on the seating part. There was another way I thought about it. For the life of me now, I can't remember. But I think it involved cutting the seating part at an angle as well to straighten it all off. But that just, no, that's not going to happen. So yeah, so it's lunchtime now, so I'm going to take a break and carry on in about an hour, half an hour. Bye for now. I know that I'd be getting the hang of this, but I'm not really. I'm a bit embarrassed to show you this now, but I'm going to anyway, so bear with me a second. So here we go. So I've made 2 of these constructions. So the back, the seat, and front leg. So I've got the opposite one to that as well, all made up and measured up. The joints I'm getting a little bit better at. Okay, this is not screwed in yet, so it's going to be a lot tighter than that. but not perfect. Like I said, the angle that I've got, what I've done is I've cut this leg and put a joint in, but I've cut it in half an inch, I think it was, shorter than from there to the ground. I can't do this, I don't think, without it all falling apart. No, I can't. But yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, I could even still, if I wanted to, reduce that slope, which is what I told you not so long ago. I can do. But that'll be done right at the end when I got the whole thing together, then make my decision on that. I've now, I think, let me come away from there a bit. So if you look at that now, so it's going to need something, if it's got an angle like that, it's going to need something that way, isn't it? Is my thinking. So when it stands like that at an angle, it's going to need something at the back, sort of like that. Okay, so at an angle. So that's what I'm thinking. Does that make sense? I don't know. And even with the slope I've got on there, that's not too bad with the sitting area, is it? I mean, there's a slope on it. I put the phone straight, so there is a slope on it. But if I reduce the slope, it'll bring it right there, which is a bit perfect, really. But then I haven't got quite the slope on the back part. But it's a learning process. Like I said, when I come back into the country next year, middle November, probably, I'll have been sending tools here. I want either a bandsaw or a circular saw. For that, I'm going to need a better workbench because they will, as far as I can work out, they're both going to be attached permanently to the bench. So I'm going to have what I'm going to have in here is this is going to be extended all around. So this wall here is going out probably another couple of meters. I'm going to have it all sealed off. So all this year, still don't know for the life of me what it is, but that's all coming off. I put that on there. They put that on there like professionally, if you like. Put my dartboard up semi-professionally the other day, so I have a bit of fun doing that now. But yeah, so all this will come off, and I'm going to have it then concreted at least halfway up, so to there, and then with some timber maybe to the top. But I'm going to want all this sealed off to stop the mosquitoes and flies and whatever coming in. And up the top there, which goes above the shop, I'll have that sealed off. So I'm going to have it totally sealed off. I might have a window in, but probably not. If I do, it'll be one at the back there somewhere, maybe. But this is all next year. So I'm going to have a proper workbench in here. I'm going to have it tiled, believe it or not, or flat concrete first and maybe tiled. Don't know yet because the bike's still going to come in here each night or in the daytime, whenever. So the bike's going to have sort of where I'm stood now. It's permanent parking space where it parks all the time now. Because that's going to go 2 meters that way. I'm then going to have a TV in here and my old Xbox or PlayStation, whichever one I bought with me back all those years ago. I'm going to be sitting using. So I'm going to enjoy that. And then eventually I'll be able to watch all my films, my DVDs I've got, and all sorts of things, and a bit of privacy really, and a bit of me space, man cave as they like to call it. So that's the plan for this. So it's going to have a better working area, flat ground. I just want it perfectly flat, concreted, and probably tiled, and then almost like a little place to. I wouldn't be sleeping in here or anything. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to have a couple of nice armchairs in here. Not the ones I'm making. I said nice. So yeah, that's the plan. And yeah, like maybe one window, and yeah, we'll see. Right, I'm going to crack on now with my project. It's all learning, isn't it? So I'm getting there. Tent. I made place the armrests all in one with the front leg, and the same with the back. Well, I forgot to do that. So, I just didn't do that. My front leg only goes to where you sit. So my way around. So basically I'm not going to have an armrest, but it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to put that in now. So some joints on there. I can't put joints in there because It's just going to have to be screwed on like it is, and I've done one for each side. Yeah, so one for each side, just to make it more rigid. My thought process there is I cannot put a joint into there, so cut into there, put into there, because then that goes into that, into there, and into there, which is part of the seating area, so I can't do it. So I don't think I can. I'm going to have to have another think about that. I prefer to make a joint, because I sort of enjoy it now. Dreaded it for the first time I did it, but I'm sort of getting into it now, so cut the piece into there, and the same there, and then countersink it in. It would look nicer as well. We'll see. We'll see. Well, I think you can say, slowly but surely, I'm getting better at these joints. Finding ways of helping myself really all the time as I'm going along. I told you that when I cut, I put that piece of wood there, so I get a nice clean cut, as you see I can do now. And when I'm chiseling and when I'm sawing, to stop, because the clamp isn't good enough, and the small ones are just a waste of time, but the clamp one's pretty good, but it's not a vice. So what I do to stop that moving around is I've got a piece of wood made to measure, slot that in, nothing can go anywhere, and I can do all the chiseling and hammering I want, and drilling if needs be, but that'll be a while yet. Anyway, there you go.
Well, good morning. It's been 2 or 3 days now since I've had a go at this chair, my latest chair. So I've started again this morning. I had got most of the pieces. I've still got some parts of it to make, but I'm screwing a lot of it together now. So I'll just show you a little bit of an update. So the joints are looking a lot better than what they used to. That's not screwed in yet, that one there, but as you can see, that's screwed into place now. So what we've got here is the chair, basically the basic frame of it now. So that's not in place yet, that bar there. Oh, that one is, yeah, but it's not screwed in. Then you go up to the top bit there. If I do that, a bit wobbly because I haven't got my tripod on, but there you go. So I'm getting there, and yeah, update you later. So what I've made here, because if remember I told you on the other chair I had brought it up here for the arm, which I forgot all about on this one, but what I have done, and to make it more secure, so it's getting now really proper rigid, so one of those will go on the other side. I'm now making a cross member here, so I've done that side, cutting that to shape now, and that's going to go across there, because this is a bit out of line, as you can see. Can you see that at that bottom piece? So when I put, although that's already on, which I should have done that after, I might have to take that back off while I'm doing this, but I've put this now exact the same length as the bottom ones. When I bring it in, I will push this in, straighten it all up and screw it down, and that should bring it back into line. I don't know how that's got out of line, but it has. A lot of it is, of course, my floor in here is very uneven. I am limited space, as you can see. It's all very cramped in here. So I made one of these for the other side as well a couple of days ago now, because I haven't been doing this for a while. And very nice, very nice. Problem is, there's a screw in there and I can't get it out. What's a nail? Can you see that? There's a nail in there. Now, there's nowhere where it's been in. That's not it there. That's something totally different, and that's not it there. But it almost looks like it's grown into, the tree's grown around it from whenever. Because for the life of me, I cannot get that out. I've tried with a hacksaw, I've tried prizing it out. And if I really do succeed, it'll just ruin the whole joint. So I've got to make a new one of those. But that's just a few minutes. That won't take me long. So yeah, so I'm getting there. I've got those cross members in now for the front to stop it wobbling. I'm doing the same now for the back. I'm just about to, let's say, put that one on there in a minute. Once I've done that, I've got to make a new one of those, and then I've got to make a lot of back support ones, cross members to go across there. So probably another 3 to go down there, and all the ones then. So another cross member's got to go across there, and then across, then all across the seating area for it to actually just sit on. I've still got the angle on there. not sure if I'm going to have to, because the only way around it now, if it doesn't work, is to straighten that and shorten that one to the exact same length, and I'm back with the same situation as I had before. The only difference with this one is I've made it a lot bigger, a lot wider seating area, which we'll see once I've finished. So yeah, I'm having trouble now. I've just done a whole speech to realise the microphone wasn't working. I've got 2 of them in the pack and they charge up together. For some reason the one hadn't charged up, so I'm hoping you can hear me this time. Basically what I was saying and what I've been through, I can start again now, is a lot of the problems with building the furniture here or chairs here with joints rather than just nailing it together and making the joints is because the wood here isn't that accurate when you say it's a 2x2. I now know why this is. I was talking to a friend the other night, and I've seen it myself, so I know it's right. Is they do it with, most of the time, with chainsaws. So they'll measure up, let's say, down the one side of this massive plank, half a tree or whatever, and measure it up to where they want to cut, and with string to the other side, measure it up, drop the string down, and there's your line. Then that problem being that I'll just show you now. It's not always that accurate. For example, you've got this one here. So it's supposed to be 2x2. That one just isn't. It's a bit out, and a lot of them are. And if I just go down there a sec, you can't quite see that, but that's again nowhere near. So some are some this piece here, I think, if I put that on my lap a minute. So that there, you see, is spot on. But you go that side now, the other side of it. Take measure with it. And again, it's not. You see, so it's more like a 2 2¾ on a 2x2. But they're all, that's just one. I mean, they're all different. You know, so 2x2 would be square as such, wouldn't it? But they're not. So they're not strictly 2x2s, and they're also not always that straight. So this plus my floor is not straight. So I'm going to stop. I've got to pop the town a bit on the bike, so I'll have a shower and pop the town to get a few ingredients that we forgot yesterday. Being diplomatic, I don't do the shopping. But we're having a meal with some friends tonight. They're coming over, and we need a few extra bits that we didn't get in town yesterday. So I'll be off doing that. So the chair won't work. I won't work on the chair again today because I don't have time. Tomorrow is Monday. Yeah, might have a few hours at it and probably get it finished by Monday. So hope you take care. Speak to you soon. So as you can see, not all the joints are perfect, but a damn sight better than the first attempt at making a chair. I'm not finished by any means. I've got to still make all the seating struts. But it looks like these are the arms, but it's not. It would mean I'd be sitting almost on the ground. So this is where the cross member is. Let me just give you a rough idea. Once I've got the joints in, so they'll be a fraction lower then, but almost a bit too high, I think. I'll have to see. I suppose could I put them on underneath to make it lower? No, I wouldn't. No, with the screws. And I just support that when I sit on it. Or we're just going to pop straight off, wouldn't it, I think? It's a pity, because that would make it a little bit lower. I've just made the whole thing a bit too high. It almost looks like these are the arms, like I say. But that's supposed to be, I don't know. Do I make it then, put another one across there? Because for some strange reason, that one's at an angle and I can't for the life of me. I suppose this one must be as well, but this one's lower for whatever reason, that one there. And that one across there. No idea why, but that doesn't matter. it's all supporting it. I don't know what's happened there, what's gone wrong there. How I've measured that to do that, I do not know. But it was measured because the joints are proper, level. Probably better than this one that's like in the right position, but I don't know. Do I say that that's now the arms? So, where's my tape measure? So, that off the ground is give or take 17 inches. Yeah, 17 inches. The front part of it, obviously it goes on a bit of a recline back, but not much. Do I, so that's, like I say, that's where it's supposed to sit on, across there. Or do I build something across there? So put another one in there, or even a bit lower. Try work out where that one, maybe that could be it. And my arms will be low, but better than nothing. I could always build them up, I suppose. Would be a nice idea. I think that's what I'm going to have a go at. Is making my seat. In other words, let me get my strut. So the seat won't be up there. It's going to be about there. And across to there, maybe if I, for example, I then could make my seat level. Couldn't I? Rather than being up like that, like the rest of it. I could then level it off. That's a good idea, actually. Or even who's there? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to be a lot more work. That's going to be another few hours. Getting the pieces of wood together, cutting to the right length. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then say, once I've done my seating, I'll then do the back. Still that one to do on the other side. And that's more about it. I might put another reinforcement one down the bottom there somewhere. I don't know yet. Across here. So where that one is there, then across. Just to give that. I mean, what I've done, because we're still a bit wobbly. It's not so much now. Obviously a little bit, but I've been putting 2 screws in places rather than 1. Not everywhere, but in places. Like that only needs 1 screw there and there. There's no advantage to putting another screw in there. But these sort of areas here, see, I've put 2 in there because stop it, and it's gone really sturdy. I'll do the same on the other side, and on these as well. I put 2 there, you see, just to make it a little bit stronger. And it is quite sturdy now already. And the more I attach to it, the sturdier it's going to become. So, yeah, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, YouTube. This is the start of day 3. I've done a little bit already. I'll show you in a minute. So today I'll probably finish the chair, depending on what else I've got to do. Whether I'm driving anywhere or not, I'm not quite sure yet. Might be. Otherwise, I'll work on the chair and try and get the last bit done. And then tomorrow, probably, or this evening, I'll do the varnishing. Let me just show you how far I've got. So here you have it. So I'm on the sitting place, sitting area, whatever you want to call it, where your bum goes. I'm doing that at the moment. The chair is really rigid, really solid. I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with some of the joints I've made. They're okay, but I'm still practicing. And for the life of me, I still don't manage to saw really. I mean, that's pretty much straight down there. I've done that. You see, I mark it and I mark it down there. And then when I'm doing it, and I cut it, like I say, I put a piece of wood against it, so that I can then follow that down and try my best to keep it in a straight line. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And for the life of me, all my lengths are never correct. So as you can see here, so I'm going to get a jigsaw and I'm going to jigsaw all that off down the side there. This side is not too bad and it's not overhanging, so there's nothing I can do about that. Like I say, the back rest, probably going to put, let me point at it, probably going to put another one of those there and maybe there. And eventually, if I can find some 3-ply or some chipboard or something, I might put it all the way down the back just to finish it off. That probably won't be this year now, but maybe next year. So I might do that, or even if I'm putting wood across there, and then just put the 3-ply in between. You know what I mean? I might do that. So that's it for now. I'm going to carry on. I'm having all sorts of trouble. I've done this once this morning, recording and talked to you, and then realised it wasn't recording the audio part of it. But I think I've cured that now. Yeah. So basically, I've got the gadgets to the side of the phone, and then I got these, and I've got 2 of each. And the other one I didn't realise wasn't lighting up green, so it hadn't charged properly somehow. So yeah, that just goes on my shirt. Just clips on. There you go, and there it is. Sometimes I forget it's there, and I go in and have lunch, and then the granddaughter was asking, why has he got that? What's that green light on your shirt? What's that all about? Sometimes I even forget it's there, and that's probably why it's running the battery down more, because I just really forget that it's connected to the phone and everything. So yeah, so that's it for now. I'll speak to you later. That's that. Bye now. Sometimes I amaze myself, not in a good way. So, as you know, let me just show you. Just spin this around. As you know, I'm putting the chair and so on and so forth, and I'm in the process. I haven't done anything for hours now. I've other things to do. So, you know, like I showed you before, there, and that one there. Okay, so yeah. So I did another one before I stopped for the day. There you go. There's the other one. Okay, looks all really good, doesn't it? But it's not. Because that one's that way, and that one is that way. So it's totally useless. I must have been having one of those moments. It's not the end. I can use that for something else, so it's not a waste. It's not a waste. I mean, I'm going to do some arms, so actually that's quite a good joint for that, maybe. But then that's the wrong way around, but that will be shortened anyway, so yeah. I just thought I'd show you that, and I'm going to start again tomorrow, hopefully. So it's about 6:45 in the evening now, so there's no point starting anything now, really. I don't want to be too loud, because there is a lot of sawing and hammering with the chisel going on. So I won't do that now. It's a bit noisy for the neighbours and for Sally and so on. So yeah, so I'll crack on with it tomorrow, and I'll see you then. So I'm coming to the stage now, towards the end, where I'll be varnishing it soon. There's just a couple of little jobs left to do. Let me just show you and what I've got planned. So let me just show you what my plan is. So I've cut these two identical with slopes, just to make it look a bit nicer, I suppose. The plan is that's basically going to rest on there with 2 massive screws coming into the back, holding it into place, and then a piece of wood going from there to there, which I'm now in the process of cutting. So, you remember the piece of wood I showed you with 2 separate ends? Well, that's going to be one of the support struts for it, legs, whatever you want to call it. Well, they're not legs; they're struts for the arm. So I've measured it at 48 from there to there. So I'm going to cut down there, and I've got this cutting out to a fine art. So and that there. So yeah, I've worked out with the saw. So when I'm cutting, I mark it all up. So line down there and line down there as always. When I'm cutting, so I've been on YouTube, I've watched how to do it, but still can't get my head around it. I've found strange thing. So that looks level, right? I found when I'm cutting, I tilt it at an angle somehow. Don't ask me how, but I keep it in a dead straight line. I've done a few joints now where it's worked a treat. Don't ask me how, I have no idea. I've come to a bit of a standstill, I'm afraid. I need some longer nails. These just don't do it. I've misjudged it, because I can show you, that's going to go roughly there. So it's not going. There's no joint, because otherwise it won't line up. So it has to go like that. I mean, I could put a joint in there, but I'm not going to do that now. It looks all just about right.
Problem being, I was just going to screw it on, and the screws aren't long enough. Damn. And these, where the shop where I went to, called DIY, these were actually the longest I found there. And I got loads of them. I've got pushing probably over 50, 60 of these now. 2 bags of them. It never tells you how many's in the bag. So I have no idea. But there you go. So the ones I've been using for the rest of it, really, just the shorter ones, because obviously there's been a joint being made. Is that one any longer? No, it's the same again. So I've come to a standstill. That bit of an arm thing there is going to come back off because this will just pull off. It's just in a millimetre or two. What a pity. Am I going to go to town today? And where do I get them from? But you can see what I'm getting. So let's say just screwed on down there. And that there will be screwed into there. And that'll be it really, it'll be done. Screwed better down there. Obviously I'm going to have to undo that now because do I or not? Because I really wanted to start putting the bike away in the evenings. To do that I'm going to have to put the chair up there. And I'm going to have to take that off. That just comes off. I'm going to have to unscrew that, take that off, because people start messing about with it, it's just going to fall off and make me look stupid if nothing else. So I always have that opinion that people are, I'm a bit paranoid about that. Obviously here with the language barrier and everything, I'm always a bit paranoid about people waiting for me to make mistakes. And there's always a bit of giggling going on when I do things. So is that me being paranoid or is it a real thing? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for now. I am probably now going to finish this video for that, and at a later date I'll put a short video on when I do the arms. That probably won't be today now because there's so much going on here at the moment. So yeah, I'm a bit the sort of they might need me at any time to drive them to hospitals and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for now. Everybody take care, and please like, subscribe. Bye for now. Well, the show's not over. I had to think about it. Literally minutes after that last clip you saw. I've just put a bigger, wider bit on the drill. So basically I can countersink it down into roughly there. And that gives me then, if I see that, so that's then going to go in 3/4 of an inch into the chair. So that's fine. Let's have a go at that. Comes together, doesn't it, if you persevere. So I've countersunk them down in quite a depth. Same there. That one I didn't need to because that was because I got a joint, so I needed a smaller screw. Those are sunken in. The top one not so much, but that doesn't matter. But the bottom has gone in quite a way, and definitely there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. That's gone in down, which gives it plenty of contact with that wood there. So that's good. Because normally you've got the joints, so you only need the smaller screws, which go into about roughly there, which is plenty, you know. Which I've done on most of this chair. The first chair I only used larger screws, and it was hard work. It used to take forever because I wasn't drilling the holes first in the first part of the wood. So with this one now, for example, if I'm doing a joint, I would already, once I cut that out, I would drill the hole already in that. That's something I've learned as I've gone along, rather than just standing there and trying to force a screw through. Drill the hole into that first, a little tiny bit in there so it's all lined up, and then in you go. Oop. Need some more standing, just going to splinter. Never mind. So, I've got one arm to do, and then I'll be varnishing it. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is call an end to the whole video because it's just going on and on and on. And in the next couple of days, I will show a second video, just a short update of the last arm on and the varnish. Okay, so like I said before, please like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this. I do tend to make a fool of myself sometimes, but I'm proud of this one. It's so strong, so solid. I tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to put it up on the up on there where it's nice and flat. Let's have a go. Bear with me 1 second. Can I lift that up? No, I can't. Of course, heavy. Bear with me. I'm just going to put you there for a second. That's a heavy beast. It really is. Right. Put that there for a second. Solid. That is nice. So that's really solid. Right, sorry about that. So there's the original. Needs some extensions on the bottom of the legs because it's all much too upright and you can't sit in it comfortably, so I've been putting wood under there to tilt it back to give it that sort of recliner effect, if you like. This one is not that much of a recliner as I planned originally, but it does go back a little bit, just a touch. I've got the slope still on the back and normal on the front. And let's have a go. Sorry, I haven't got my beer with me because that would be even better. There we go. I'm starting my, do you know what, that's really comfortable. I like that. The plan is, like I said before, is some 3-ply or chipboard to go in between these two gaps. I don't think I'll put anything on the base. I think that's fine as it is. I'm going to get some cushions for it. Probably got some here somewhere. Yeah, so like I said before, the joints aren't perfect. So there you can see I'm getting the hang of it. And I messed that one up. This is still going to be trimmed off. I'm going to pop that down back in a minute, get the saw going, the jigsaw, and trim those off. Yeah, and that's it for now. So, like, subscribe, and bit of a pause there, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Take care.